Keeping venomous reptiles is an unforgiving hobby, requiring proper training and lots of experience. One simple mistake can be the difference between life and death. Remember, the most venomous snake in the world is the one that just bit you. There are no venomous snakes with training wheels. Just because you see viperkeeper handle snakes a certain way does not mean you should try it too.
Okay, so these male Insularis born in January of 2017 have outgrown their enclosures, and I've made space for them in these larger enclosures. They ate last week, which getting males to eat on a regular basis is a very tough task. So I figured they got a meal in them so I can cause some major butt hurt so they won't feed for a while when I move them to their new enclosures. They're quite beautiful. They're the blue variety, and they're quite foul. These males will have a go at me when I piss them off. So they're quite lanky. He's a little thin, but this is the life of the male Insularis, and he doesn't like Mr. Camera, does he? So these will put you in the hurt locker, so to speak. They probably won't kill you, but it'll be a very unpleasant week or so. Unfortunately, my next shipment of anti-venom for these guys won't happen until probably the beginning of next year, because the Thai Red Cross is out of serum right now, and they're making more, and it takes time to process it and such. So we're going to work really hard at not taking a bite from anything in the collection. If I had a choice, it would be one of the Spitalaps lubricus, the coral cobras. Actually, it would be our little normal corn snake that nobody wanted, was probably going to feed to some other snake eater. That's the one that we would want to take a bite from here at the lair. So this guy is going to get his new headquarters here with a nice light. Come on, go up the tree. There you go. He's got a hide spot. He's got a tree. He's got a basking zone. Maybe he'll like this a lot better than before. Oh, we're getting a little tail slapping there, huh? He will come at you, so just beware that when I've been tease feeding him, he's actually come at me.
Oh my!
Yes, he's a cranky dude. So yeah, he will bite you. There's no question about it. So I mean, the green rocket over here will bite you, but mostly because she thinks you've got food. But she will also bite you. Hopefully, maybe next year I will pair some of these up and make some more Insularis babies. Once I get the 13 that the blue girl down at the bottom there popped out. Once I get them all feeding and find homes for them, I'll try to produce some more maybe next year. We'll see. It all depends on how the pandemic goes, because we're really only handling animals when absolutely necessary. Other than that, they stay in their enclosures if they have stuck eye caps, stuck sheds. Sadly, I just have to let them deal with it on their own like they would in a wild. So, all right, well, let's move the second one. And then I'll clean these cages up, and we will recycle them for some other snakes. Thank you. So we got this guy. Hello, nice to see you too. Come on. Oh, we're going to take a swing, huh? Uh-oh. Well, even for tree snakes, they can be quite difficult. They don't necessarily hook very well. They will take the hook from you and run right up to your hand, and you have to drop the hook. The male, I mean, I don't normally call snakes aggressive, but the males are a bit aggressive. Or highly defensive, I think is the proper term. Hi there. Yes, I know you want to bite me on my nose. I'm not going to let you. I know I see you. So, you know, we pay them the respect they really deserve. You know, right now we've got 13 babies over there in the bin, and you know, Lori and I are cannula feeding once a week, which means that we have to restrain them. I have to grab them by their pointy little head and stuff a tube down their throat, give them some sustenance, and then once that's done, I will I throw them back in their bin. So he's exploring his new enclosure, so we're going to shut this and let him settle in. And we'll go about our normal business here at the lair. Oh, isn't that nice? He's got a nice place to hold on to and take a nice long strike at me. Oh, and the guy above him is still in strike position. He's not tail rattling now because the threat is not imminent. Not that I'm really a threatening sort of person, but yeah, these are cool snakes, and
they're certainly very pretty.
yes, and I think, you know, I was expecting the female down there to produce a mix of colors, but she produced all turquoise or sea green ones, not blue, not yellow green like the rocket, but all turquoise. I was happy that she finally produced babies. I thought she was going to explode by August. I was really worried about her. But I was expecting a mix of colors, so I'm not sure what it takes to get a mix of colors. But I'm just happy that I got some nice little babies, including some that have sort of a tiger pattern that you might have seen in one of the videos. It's all pretty cool. All right, well, let's see if Miss Collett, who's related to Mr. Brown, is interested in some food. She's in her hut. I would say that she's interested in food. Come over to this side so you might be able to see a little bit of her. These are very beautiful elapids from Australia, mostly the Northern Territory. These snakes have very interesting venom. More so than your typical Australian elapid. But Australian elapids, if you get bit, and even if you get antivenom, you may lose on a permanent basis your sense of taste and smell. It's sort of a side effect of their venom. Their presynaptic neurotoxins binding to the sensory neurons that are responsible for your taste and smell. And once a presynaptic neurotoxin binds to the synapse of that particular nerve, it's fried. It never gets unbound. You have to grow an entirely new sensory pathway to replace the one that was destroyed by the venom. Whereas, like for a black mamba venom, that is all postsynaptic neurotoxins, and those are easily unbound or neutralized by antivenom or your natural immune system, and those effects are only temporary. Presynaptic neurons, it's permanent, the damage. It's so permanent that you have to actually grow a new synapse to replace that particular function. So we'll let her eat. She's a very shy snake. It's nice to have her back on feed. Now we will go to a not so shy snake, Mr. Brown here. Mr. Brown, I believe Mr. Brown, I got him as a baby in 2007. He's been with me for a long time. He is quite the character. He will tail slap and just go, he's a berserker, okay? He's dangerous just because he's totally out of control. He will bite the glass, he will bite anything surrounding where food might be. Well, you actually hit the target this time, Mr. Brown. So I'm going to take this opportunity to remove some shedding. Mr. Brown doesn't have a trap box. I would definitely like to put a trap box in his cage, but he's been in there so long and is so happy with his log. You know, I don't like to upset the snakes. If they're doing well, they're feeding, and are generally healthy, I don't disturb them. I don't bother them. I let them, you know, enjoy the peace of, in tranquility of their, what they consider to be their home.
The familiarity, which seems to keep them a lot calmer. They don't like change.
Right. You know, we've seen it so many times where snakes get butthurt if I take them out and move them to a different cage. And a snake that was feeding every single time that you offered them food for years will suddenly go off feed because you put them in a different cage. So snakes don't like change, so we leave them as alone if they're doing well, unless there's a really good reason to take them out and to move them around, then we'll do that. Otherwise, we leave them alone.